Most times, content creators are overwhelmed with the amount of gear they need and stuck on where to start.
Still, one of my favorite lenses.
Charge $1 million equipment! Back here, I can't even hold the job! Fucking cars! Ah!
And also, just after your camera and lenses, the next important gear to get should be a tripod. Now, walking around holding your camera, shooting handheld, like a maniac.
Is that our cameraman? He's matching him stride for stride. He's run the whole race with that camera on his shoulder. Just incredible. Milangeni will get the goal. The cameraman the glory.
And so some handheld shots really comes out when in most scenarios. But when you want to use a slow shutter, most overuse for that is shooting something like a waterfall, a time lapse, or when you want to include movement in your shot, but you don't want the camera to move, you just want it to stay perfectly still, so that the things that are not moving are nice and sharp, then definitely need one of these. So the big question is, which tripod should I get? I want to share a quick guide on what to look out for in buying a tripod and want to use one. Price. When getting a tripod, the first thing to look out for is the price. You got to identify what your budget is and what you're willing to spend on a tripod. They make tripod all the way up to $20,000 and they make some all the way down to $20. So there are four key variables every tripod has, and that is the leg, the head, the arm, and the quick release place. Sure, every tripod has these features, but if you get a $20 tripod, you will probably get the quality of a $20 head, leg, arm, and a release plate.
Hey, cool shit ain't cheap and cheap shit ain't cool, okay?
So when you spend more on a tripod, you get better qualities of all these four things. The photographer's tripod and video tripod. So let's talk about the difference between a photographer tripod and a video tripod. The biggest difference is going to be in the head and arm section of a tripod. A photographer's tripod does not have any smooth motion because it's designed to support, stabilize and evade the camera when taking a shot. Well, in the photographer's tripod really have no need for smooth motion because nothing is captured when moving or adjusting the position of a tripod. But the video tripod, on the other hand, will be recording the panning and tilting, so you're going to really need the smooth motion when adjusting the position of a tripod. And the common difference in both tripods will be in the fluid head. The fluid head is one to check out for when getting a tripod. A fluid head allows you to get a smooth panning and tilting shot. It's mostly used in tracking the player all the way down in a sports event. That is one thing that separates the video tripod and the photographer's tripod. So if you need a super professional looking steady shot that looks great on camera, then the fluid head is something to keep in mind. But be aware of some tripods that will say they are fluid head but end up with these shaky shots. Like this scrappy cheap Amazon tripod I got, I didn't trust the tripod at all. And every time I try getting a smooth shot, end up with these perfect crazy shots. It was really a nightmare. And it costs you not only the quality of your film because you're distracted and you can't leave a tripod for a second without worrying about it, but it actually costs you the entire camera setup. Be aware, if it's cheap, it's probably fake. The bigger the head generally means the more weight and smooth motion you get. The ball head tripod. Another thing to pay attention to is the ball head tripod. This is an example of one. Being able to have a smooth panning and tilting shot so that your panning does not go uphill or downhill over the time. So when buying a tripod, make sure it has a ball head for leveling your shot. So the fluid head and the ball head are the two words you have to focus on when getting a tripod. This will help you in the right direction and get you a good tripod. Next up is the height of the tripod. And when I talk about height, there are two measurements you have to keep in mind. One is how high it can let you go up and how low it can really get you in most scenarios where you need a little bit more height. So it's important to check how high your tripod can go, but if you find yourself bringing the tripod to lower position, then some tripod allows you to get really close to the ground. Be aware, some tripods can also hold a lot more weight than others can, but they are nice tripods for your everyday smaller ring set, but maybe not to fit your massive Hollywood movie grade set. There are thousands of tripods out there, but if you have a ton of money to invest in, then the manifold tripod is something to consider. It's built for heavy ring sets. You can put a scarlet on it, red epic, pretty much most cameras out. This in my option is one of the best tripod out there. There's really not much I can say other than it's great. It works in most situations. It has to spray down the bottom. You can really use it in low profile, which is something you can rely on. So when looking for a tripod, you want to look for the one that says fluid head or ball head. This means it's meant for video. That's it for today, guys. A quick one about tripod. See you in the next one.